how warm is Brent Venables' seat? Like, is that just something that's sort of noise on the outside? Is on the inside? Is everyone, good with him and all that? But is he on thin ice this year? What do you think?
He's absolutely on thin ice. This is the hottest seat no U coach has experienced since 1997, 1998, when John Blake was the head coach, and then he was let go, and then Bob Stoops was hired. So it's been a very long time since an OU coach went into a season on the hot seat. Now, is it the hot seat in terms of like, does the administration, is it kind of like wishy-washy if he has support? It's not that case. Brent Venables has full confidence from Joe Castiglione, the athletic director, the president, Joe Harris, the administration. Everybody loves Brent Venables. Everybody wants him to succeed. And even parts of the fan base that question him in terms of like, I don't know if he's the guy, because this is the University of Oklahoma. It's a blue blood, and they don't really handle failure too well. We jump from, if it seems like it's not going to work, OU jumps to the next guy, because if a position like the head coach at OU is open, basically everybody wants it. It's one of 5, 6, 7 schools where that is everyone's dream job, is to be the successful head coach at a place like that. So Brent Venables knows exactly the situation he's going into, and it's fully supported. Now, the schedule is pretty tough, and they did all that they could in the offseason to ensure that the sins of last year don't repeat themselves in terms of the offensive woes, the quarterback play, the turnovers, everything. And you hope with a Brent Venables defense that just kind of maintains, or at least especially improves from where it was last year. It wasn't one of the top 3 defenses in the SEC, but it was definitely in the top 4 or 5. And if you can get to top 3, you're talking elite defense level. You're talking one of the best defenses in the country. And with Brent Venables at the helm, that's on the table. It's as simple as fix the offense. You bring in John Mateer, you bring in Ben Arbuckle from Washington State, and they bring an exciting brand of football that is familiar around these parts with the air raid. It makes a lot of sense. But is he on the hot seat? Absolutely. If things go south like they did last year, I don't know if Brent Venables as a head coach, I don't know if that tenure is much longer than past this season. But again, they've done everything to ensure that does not happen.
Gotcha. So, but it's not so unsecure that like if it goes south, he's like out in the middle of the season. That you think he's probably safe for a season.
Let's say if everything happens again,
Hmm.
like let's say that because OU does play South Carolina the week after Texas like they did last year, and last year they get beat 38-3 by Texas. It wasn't a game after basically halftime, and then they come back home to Norman to play South Carolina, who at that point I think they were like on a 2-loss streak. And this was before South Carolina became everybody's favorite darling. Their kind of wave of momentum started in Norman because OU spotted them 21 points in the first 2 minutes
Yeah.
of the game. It was over. If all this happens again, let's say OU loses to Michigan, they lose to, they beat Auburn last year, so let's say they beat Auburn again, but they're not competitive against Texas, and then they go on the road to Columbia and lay an egg. It would be really, really hard to see a world where he is as fully supported, not necessarily by the administration, but by the fans. Like, you don't have fans calling into local radio stations calling for his head
Right.
or saying, like, if he loses to Michigan, like, he's out. No, people want him to succeed, and they're going to find any reason or any example, any situation for him to remain. And I think financially for OU, it's probably in the best case, because that buyout is very large.
Yeah.
So the longer he stays, the smaller that number becomes. I don't think. I think with what they've put together in the offseason and the experience and the development that they put together, even through last year, I mean, it would just have to be destiny that you are not meant to work here as the head coach, Brent Venables, for that to happen. So the seat's hot. I don't think there's any danger for it to go south in season, if that makes sense.